Do you know of a stellar leader or an outstanding organization that deserves a proper shout-out? Nominate them for IBJ's awards. From 40 in their 40s and Women of Influence to Nonprofit and Healthcare Excellence Awards, we're celebrating rising stars, seasoned leaders, and organizations making a difference. Discover which programs are accepting nominations now at ibj.com/nominate.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Monday, April 27th, 2026. I'm Gary Dick. Construction is underway on the Heartland Industrial Park, a 1,000-plus acre site planned for Sullivan County. Texas-based developers Potentia say it could drive $65 billion in total investment to the area by 2030, which would make it one of the largest private infrastructure projects in state history. Announced in March, the project is designed to support data centers, advanced manufacturing, and logistics investment. The new IU, that's how Indiana University President Pam Whitten describes a new 3-year partnership with Warsaw-based Zimmer Biomet.
So since the fall, we have now contracted with 3 major Indiana companies, a partnership with Indiana University to bring our students in play to do workforce development, to look at the big problems and have our researchers partner and work to come up with solutions for those problems, and then to disseminate them in ways that we make lives better. This is what we're here to do.
Defense contractor V2X Inc. and data analytics startup EchoBar were among the honorees at TechPoint's 2026 Mira Awards Gala, described as the Oscars of Indiana Tech. Reston, Virginia-based V2X, which has an office in Indianapolis, earned the Tech Company of the Year award. Indianapolis-based EchoBar won Startup of the Year. Founded by friends Reese Ryan and Amber Dodson, EchoBar enables clients in the sports and entertainment industries to analyze social media data. Jim Plump, the longtime executive director of the Jackson County Industrial Development Corporation, is set to retire later this year. During a board meeting Friday, Plump announced that he plans to step down in September. He's led the organization since its founding in 1984. You're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Indiana, start your engines. Join us from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for our Emmy Award-winning Business at the Brickyard, presented by LiUNA. All month long, we'll bring you exclusive interviews, features, and a behind-the-scenes look at how the business of motorsports and racing drive the Indiana economy. Business at the Brickyard. It's front row access you won't want to miss. The South Bend Redevelopment Commission has approved an initial $500,000 in funding to support the launch of a regional land bank aimed at addressing thousands of vacant and blighted properties across the city.
Joe Molnar, South Bend's Deputy Director of Community Investment, outlined the rationale for the initiative during the Commission's last meeting, pointing to decades of population decline and disinvestment. South Bend lost more than 30,000 residents between 1960 and 2010, contributing to widespread vacancy, particularly on the city's west side. City officials began informally acquiring vacant lots in the early 2010s, but Molnar said earlier versions of land banking were limited by state law. Legislative changes in 2021 strengthened those tools, allowing land banks to more efficiently acquire properties through tax sales and direct transfers from counties. Under the new structure, the land bank will be housed within the Michiana Area Council of Governments, or MACOG, and governed by a 7-member board representing the city, St. Joseph County, and other stakeholders. Molnar said the land bank will streamline what is currently a cumbersome acquisition process that can take up to 2 years and require coordination between multiple governmental bodies. He said the effort is particularly focused on smaller-scale projects such as rehabilitating single-family homes and preparing vacant lots for new housing. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Advance Aero, a precision machining and sheet metal fabrication company based in Mooresville, is under new ownership. Kentucky-based L2 Aviation said this week it has acquired the Indiana company, though financial terms of the deal are not being disclosed. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Do you want the real scoop on what's happening in Indiana business? Check out the IBJ podcast. I'm Mason King, And each week I sit down with people who make news in Indiana to get insights and perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. It's business, but you won't need an MBA. The guests run the gamut from CEOs, developers, and sports executives to artists and chefs and financial planners. If there's a theme, it's that everything has a cost. And success often depends on how you define profit and loss. So if you want to deepen your understanding of the people and projects shaping Indiana, give the IBJ podcast a try. You can find it at ibjpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.